Hey guys, I am making this video for the matrix test review, and my goal here, I'm not going to work through every problem, but I'm going to make sure that we know how to use our TI-84 calculators to help us. So if we are given matrices A, B, C, and D, I'm going to start by putting all of those into my matrix storage. So on my TI-84, there's an actual matrix button right here. It's in blue. I need to push second, and then my matrix button, and here's my matrix menu. Okay, we have to create matrix A, B, C, and D, so I'm going to edit. So I'm going to go over. I want to edit matrix A. We're going to put in the dimensions, so the dimensions for matrix A, 2 rows, 2 columns, so it's going to be a 2 by 2. It builds that grid for us, and now we're going to put in the numbers. So I have 1, then we have -1, then we have 3, and -2. So matrix A is complete. I'm going to repeat that process to put in matrix B. So I'm going to go back to my matrix menu. So second matrix, go over to edit, go down. Now I want to edit matrix B. Matrix B has 3 rows and 2 columns. What's nice is if you switch this up, if I made a mistake and I said that this was a 2 by 3 instead, you'll notice that it doesn't look like what's on your paper. You got it backwards. So we need to go back and make this a 3 by 2. All right, we have 0, 2, -2, 1, -1, and 0. All right, there's matrix B. Go back to my matrix menu. There it is. Come over here to edit. I want to now edit matrix C. Matrix C is a 2 by 3. My elements are 3, -3, -1, 2, -2, and 4. And then the last matrix we need to build is matrix D. This matrix is a 2 by 2. It's a special one. It's a square matrix, but it's also the identity matrix, where we have 1s in our diagonals. So we have 1, 0, 0, 1. There's our matrix D. And now that they're stored in, we can do our operations. So here, 2 times matrix D. There's the number 2. Go back to our matrix. Under the names, I'm going to select matrix D, and there it is. Okay, so 2 times matrix D, 2 times 1, 2 times 0, 2 times 0, 2 times 1. Okay, that was pretty easy to do by hand. You can type any of these in, just make sure you type it in exactly as you see it. So like if we go right here to number 7, 5D minus A, I'm going to come over here, 5 matrix D, and then minus matrix A. There we go. We get the matrix 4, 1, -3, and 7. If you ever type something in, like back over here to number 4, if to do D plus C, D plus C, this time, it's going to tell me error, and it tells me why. Dimension mismatch. Remember, when we're adding and subtracting our matrices, our dimensions have to be the exact same thing. So I cannot add together B and C. I can't add together, really, all we can add together on this list is matrix A and matrix D. They're the only ones that have the exact same dimensions, which they're both 2 by 2s. I can't combine anything else. Okay, so like down here, 3C minus 2D, I can't put those together. I already know that that's going to be undefined. Okay, so that's how we plug in matrices into our TI-84s to help us. Real fast, this is kind of a little bit of a typo. That should be C plus a 0 matrix with the dimensions 2 by 3. Remember with this one, we need to make sure that the dimensions match. So a 2 by 3 has 2 rows, 3 columns. That is the same size as matrix C. So all we're doing is adding 0 to each piece, which just gives me matrix C again. All right. So that's how you would do our top part right here. And I know you have the answer key. You can check yourself. Down here, these really we gotta do by hand, 10, and technically this is number 11. There's no calculator trick to help you out. Do them by hand. You got it. It's not that bad. Down here, when it comes to multiplying, again, make sure you can do it first before you take the time to type it into your calculator. Okay, 2 by 2 with the 2 by 2, I can do that. So let me go ahead and show you this. I won't do all of them, but let's see here. Matrix menu. I have a new matrix I want to put in for matrix A. You should bring it back up here. Let's slide this over so I can make this bigger. There we go. So this first matrix is a 2 by 2. All right, but now what we're going to do is change our elements to the numbers 2, -1. See how I'm just typing over them and clicking enter? 5 and 3. Make sure my numbers are in the correct positions. Go back to my matrix menu. I now want to edit matrix B. It is a 2 by 2 now, and my elements are 0, 4, -3, and 1. Click enter, make sure it's all matching. Go back to our main screen right here. I like to clear things out each time. I want to do matrix A times matrix B. So go back to my matrix menu, matrix A. Go down, matrix B. And there we go. Our answer matrix is 3, 7, -9, and 23. So you can also type these in individually each time and also multiply them. And again, before you take the time to type all that into your calculator, make sure you can do them, okay? How do we know if we can do them? If our insides match. So what do I mean by that? The dimension here, this has 1 row, but 3 columns. My second matrix has 3 rows and 2 columns. So because my middle pieces match up, I can do this. And my answer matrix is going to have a size of a 1 by 2 when we're done with it. Okay, so now that I know I can do it, I can type it in my calculator instead of doing it by hand, or if you really want to do it by hand, go for it. This is a 1 by 3 and a 3 by 1. That's going to work out just fine. Let's see here. I can plug that in. What is this? This is a 2 by 3 and a 3 by 2. That's going to work. Number 16 is a 2 by 3 and a 3 by 1. Yep, that one's going to work. And my last one is 2 square matrices. So yeah, these are all going to work. So you can do them all by hand, or you can type them in each time, editing your matrix A and matrix B. I'm going to show you one other little shortcut. So let's say I just did 12. I got my answer. Now I want to do number 13. I'm going to go into my matrix menu. We're going to edit. This is a 1 by 3. And it is 2. Whoop, go back. It is a 2, -1, and 6. My matrix B. Going to edit that. This one is a 3 by 2. Our elements are 2, 0, -1, 0, 6, 0. Okay, so now we have a new A and a new B. What you can actually do is click the up arrow, click enter, so it actually copies down A, B, but remember you've changed your A and your B, so this is using what you just entered in, and then you click enter. So you get the answers, 41 and 0. So not much of a shortcut, but it is a little shortcut, and it's good to use sometimes. All right, so that's how we can use the calculator with multiplying. Down here, finding determinants and inverses. Let me zoom in a little bit here. So number 18, we have a system. It wants me to find the determinant and find the inverse. Okay, so when I find the determinant, remember we have to make our matrices. So we have negative, come on. There we go. -5, 1, 7, -3. Those are my coefficients. Then we have my variables. We're using the variable x and the variable y. And this is equaling our answers, which are 20 and negative 12. Okay. It wants me to find the inverse of our matrix A. So negative 5, 1, 7, and negative 3. I can do that in my calculator. Let me show you. All right, so to find the determinant, we're going to go into our matrix. I keep doing that. Matrix menu, there we go. We have a new matrix A we're going to work with. It's a 2 by 2. Right? And it's our coefficient matrix, so it's going to be negative 5, 1, 7, and negative 3. So there is our determinant matrix. All right, so we are going to use our calculator now to find the determinant for this matrix. So I'm going to go back into my matrix menu, go over to math, and look at the very first one is determinant. So I'm going to click on that one. Oh, hold on, sorry. I apologize. We need to go back to this menu. Go back here, clear this out. Now we're going to tell it I want the determinant, and I want it for matrix A, like that. And there you go. My determinant is 8, which makes sense because we have 15 minus 7. That is 8. Okay. And then to get our inverse, okay, remember the symbol for inverse is that little negative 1 as an exponent. Look right here. There's a button for that. So I'm going to say I want matrix A, because we're still talking about this guy, and I want the inverse of it. Click enter. There it is. If you want these as a fraction, push your math button. Our very first choice is making it into a fraction. Do I want my answer as a fraction? Yes, I do. Push enter. And now here's my matrix as a fraction. So you have both ways up here. Okay. Now that you have your determinant and you have now your inverse, remember how we solve. In order for us to solve for our xy, okay, xy is going to equal, remember this is A and this is B, we need the inverse of A times B. So I'm almost there. We got to put our B matrix in here. I'm going to go here. It is a 2 by 1, and it is 20 and negative 12. We have our pieces. So I need my inverse A, which I already have. I'm going to come up here, push enter, inverse A, and then times matrix B, and we get the matrix negative 6 and negative 10. So that's how I know that x equals negative 6 and y equals negative 10, because my x was first and my y was below it. All right, so that's how we do problems like 8 and 9 in our TI-84s. All right, what else do we have? Number 19 is about the same. Remember, special things happen when it comes to solving and all of the solving stuff. So this entire back page that we have working with here. If anything ever gets a determinant of 0, then you will not have a solution, because in our inverse equation, remember it's 1 divided by our determinant. So you can never do 1 divided by 0. So if you ever get a 0, you have to stop and say no solution, it can't happen. Okay. What we did for 18, we can also do down here, 20 and 21, it specifically says by hand. So yes, you got to show your work up here. You can always check your work with using your calculator. You would just type in your 3 by 3 coefficient matrix, find the inverse of that, and multiply it by your 3 by 1 answer matrix. And that's a good way to check yourself. So for this one, you should get 4, negative 2, and 1. But again, you got to show it to us by hand for number 20 and 21. All right, 22. These guys are solving. 21 and 20, or 22 and 23 are 2 by 2s. So we got to set up the equation first before we can use our calculator to help us solve. So 22 says a movie theater charges $5 for an adult's ticket and $2 for a child's ticket. One Saturday, the theater sold 785 tickets for $3,280. How many of each type of ticket were sold? So remember, we got to make are two equations. One equation is going to be just about the tickets, and our next equation is going to be just about the money for the tickets. Okay, so we know we sold a total of 785 tickets. So I'm going to use X for child. No, they mentioned adults first. So I'm going to do, let's say X is adult. And let's say Y is child. It's always smart to label what you're using. Okay, so what tickets were sold? So I have all my adult tickets and all of my child tickets for a total of 785 tickets. When it comes to money, it was $5 for each adult ticket, and then it was $2 for each child ticket, and that ended up being a total of $3,280. So now that I have my equation set up, I can make my matrix equation. So my coefficients, remember there's ones right here. So my coefficients matrix is a 1, 1, 5, and 2. My variable matrix, I used X and Y. And then our solution matrix is 785 and 3280. This is A, matrix X, and matrix B. So remember, we can't divide by matrices. I can't divide A to the other side. Instead, what we do is we need to do B times my inverse matrix of A. So that's our way of dividing. Okay, so if I go to my calculator, let's go into our matrix menu. Going over here to matrix A, I'm going to update it. It's still a 2 by 2, but now it is 1, 1, 5, and 2. And I'm going to update my B matrix. It is still a 2 by 1. It is now 785 for my first element and 3280 for my second element. I'm going to quit. I can use what we just did up here, right? We're going to multiply A inverse times B, because we should do A inverse first, I'm sorry. A inverse times B is the order that we need to do things in. Keep it in that order, push enter, and we are going to get that our variable matrix, XY, now equals, what was it? 570 and 215. So that means that so this is how many of each type of tickets were sold. So we have 570 adult tickets. 570 adult. And we have 215 child tickets that were sold. Okay. So same thing that you would do for number 23, set it up and then type it in. And then our last two, they're 3 by 3s. So again, we would still set it up and type it in the same way. We can do one of these. Let's just do 24. Ready? So the sum of three numbers is 6. If the first number is half of the second number, and the third number is 3 times the first, what are my numbers? All right, so really the hardest part here is getting our equation set up. Okay, so we have 3 numbers. I'm going to use X, Y, Z to represent each of these. Okay, the sum of all the numbers is 6. So if I add up all 3 numbers, X plus Y plus Z, we're going to get 6. Okay. If the first number is half of the second number, okay, first number is half of the second. So my first number is half of the second. Does that make sense? And the third number is 3 times the first. So if I multiply my first number by 3, then we're going to get Z, because that means 3 would be more. You can always test by putting in a number. Like, let's pretend our first number is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. That makes sense because 6 is 3 times 2. So if you need to plug in numbers, you can do that. All right, now for our answer matrix with these guys, we got to line them all up. So my first one, I'm going to do my x's and y's. X plus y plus z equals 6. This is going to be x minus 1/2 y. I don't have a z equals 0. This is going to be 3x. I don't have a y, and I'm going to subtract that z to the other side. So just like elimination, you want to stack all your variables on top of each other. So my coefficient matrix is 1, 1, 1, 1, negative 1/2, 0, 3, 0, negative 1. So you have to put a placeholder in all the places that we got. We're using x, y, and z. And our answer matrix is 6, 0, 0. So that's really the hardest part with this one. Okay, this is matrix A, this is matrix B. Type each of those in, and then we solve for A inverse B, and we should get our solutions of 1, 2, and 3. So our first number is 1, our second number 2, and our third number is 3. Look at that. Okay, so make sure we know how to type that in. This is the last one I'm going to show you because we haven't done a 3x3 yet. So I'm going to go in here, go over to edit. My first matrix is now a 3x3, so I'm going to change my dimensions, and it's going to be 1, 1, 1. My second row is 1 and 1/2. Yes, you can put fractions in here. Whoop. 1 divided by 2 is 1/2. We got 0. My last row is 3, 0, and negative 1. Oh, hold on. See, look at that. Always check yourself. So that should be a 0. That's going to be my 3, 0, negative 1. There we go. If we go too fast, so make sure you double check. Always double check. And look right here. That should be a negative. That should be negative 1/2. There we go. 0, 3, 0. There we go. Here we go. Matrix A. Matrix B. We're going to edit this one to be a 3x1. And it is 6, 0, and 0. Quit. I want this, so I'm going to say enter. And then there we go. 1, 2, 3. So my first number is 1, my second number is a 2, and my third number is a 3. So that's how you use your calculator for matrix problems. I did not work through all of them, but that's okay. So I wanted to give you a tutorial on the calculator. You have an answer key to check your answers with. Remember, the ones that you can't do a calculator are 20 and 21. We want to see you do this by hand. You can use your calculators to check your answers, but we need to see work here. And then these guys, 10 and 11, this is really a do it by hand problem. You don't need a calculator to do this. So it really just makes it more messy, to be honest. So yeah, if you have any questions, let us know.